One thing we didn't do was save the picture that we generated in the previous video, the one that's on the screen in front of you now, with a good name. As you can see up the top here, by default you get untitled drawing, and you can have hundreds of untitled drawings if you keep on going without saving them, giving them a proper name. So if we click on it, we can come down here and we can say, I don't know, Spurs Matisse. Finished with that, so I'll go back to my drive. In this video we're going to have a look at how we can create and edit a flowchart using Google Drawings. So let's open a new blank canvas, go to New, More, and Google Drawings. First, let's do what we should have done in the previous video, early doors, and that's give this document a name rather than untitled drawing. So we'll call it flowchart. At least we've now named it up properly so we can find it easier than if it was just unnamed drawing or untitled drawing. So if you come up here now to shapes and we'll choose a rectangle, we'll draw this rectangle out, and if you double click inside it, then that will allow you to insert some text. So let's add some text in there. What you can now do is format that text in terms of bold, italicized, underlined, text color. So if you're not happy with the black, you can choose an alternative color. You can change the orientation of it. I'm going to put it into the middle. Just a minor point, in case you're wondering why you might not be able to see the formatting text options, you need to click on the text itself and then you'll be given another toolbar. If you have a look at the top of the screen, you should see all this information suddenly become available. To carry on with our flowchart then, you need another shape. So if we go to this menu here, click down, we'll look at arrows and we'll choose this one here, which is a bent up arrow. Notice there's only one option as a bent up arrow. You don't have a bent down arrow. We'll see how to deal with that right now. And what we'll do is we'll draw this bent up arrow by here. When you're happy with the shape of it and the size of it and the look of it, then release the mouse button and then you've got your bent up arrow. To get a bent down arrow, right click on the shape that you wish to transform, select rotate, and in this instance we'll flip vertically. You can then take this shape here, click away from it, click or hover back over it, and then drag it and pop it over where it needs to go. What we'll find is that this shape is now lying on top of the shape underneath it. It probably would look better if it was underneath it. So what we'll do is this time click on here, go to order, and we're going to send to the back. That looks a lot better, and there we go. We need another arrow on this side identical to this one, so rather than guess the shape, the size, the fatness, etc. of this arrow by trying to duplicate it over here manually ourselves, far easier to select it, copy it, and then paste it. We can then take this one, and exactly like we did before, we could transform it. So right click it, go for rotate, and this time we're going to flip horizontally. That gives us exactly the same shape as the other one. Move away from it, click away from it, hover over it, drag it to where you want to go. What you'll see is you're given some handy red lines that give you an indication of how it's marrying up with the other arrow on the other side. So what we're able to do is release it, and again that should look pretty identical to the other one. We need to send this to the back, so we're going to go to order and we're going to send it to the back, and what we should have is two identical arrows on the start of our flowchart. I'm going to carry on in a similar way. So I'm going to add a couple more shapes in here. We'll go for a rounded rectangle by there. We'll line that up by here. We'll copy it. We'll paste it and we'll put it up here and make sure it lines up. Can you see that you've got the red arrow, sorry, the red line that's showing that it's lined up here. And then you've got a red line that's showing it's shaped up there. We're going to put it in about by there. That'll do. Let's line this one up. That's just perfect. Again, double click on it and we can add some text into it. We can, if you like, change where it appears in it. I think it looks better if it's in the middle. So highlight it and we'll put that in the middle as well. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to carry on in a similar fashion, and you can join me when I'm nearly finished. All I've done is added a couple more arrows. Again, I got those from the Shapes menu, from the arrows. Those are 2 downward arrows. And then I've also inserted a couple of boxes or shapes, which are these ones here and here. They're identical. I lined them up like I showed you before. If I click on them, you'll see, hopefully, those red lines, that they're all lined up. They're an identical shape because I cut and pasted them from the other one that I generated. We just need one more arrow to go into here, so I'll show you one further technique. We'll choose an arrow and we'll choose, we'll choose an upward arrow, and we'll pop this upward arrow into here, like that. And what we want is this arrow to point from there to this box by here. So if you check on it, you can go to this round handle at the top here, not the square ones, but the one that's proud of the other ones. Drag it, and you can rotate it to whatever angle you so desire. Can you see that there's an angle, and it's telling you what angle it is as we rotate it? So you can choose the angle you want. So ideally we want to go for 90 degrees. We'll need to bring it down, try to get it into the middle. Maybe it looks a little bit fat compared to the others, so let's thin it out a little bit to try to get it something similar to where it was before. I think we've now got it lined up correctly. Here, I'm happy with that, and there we go. So I've got a nice little flowchart that's ready to go and be inserted into any presentation I want. I can export it as a PDF. I'll show you how to do that later, and I can even save it as a JPEG file or email it right from this drawing. So keep watching for the final installment on the drawing app within the Google Drive.